Now that China is no longer sending seven incredibly important heavy rare earth minerals to the US, what will happen to the US economy? Michael Snyder reports. Our current way of life could not continue without rare earth minerals. Every single day of our lives, all of us depend on technology that was built using rare earth minerals. In fact, the device that you're reading this article now probably contains rare earth minerals. That means laptops or whatever, cell phones. Um, Ultimately, rare earth minerals are not actually that rare, but processing those minerals is extremely complex. And at this point, the vast majority of that processing is done in China. Efforts are already underway to create complete rare earth supply chains here in the United States, but new processing facilities will not start coming online until 2027 at the earliest. So, what will happen to our economy between now and then? I asked Google AI about the importance of rare earth minerals, and this is what I was told. Rare earth minerals are highly important due to their diverse and crucial applications in modern technology, energy, and defense. They are essential for manufacturing a wide range of products, from electronic devices and electronic vehicles to wind turbines and military equipment. Their unique properties, including magnetic and luminous qualities, make them indispensable for many modern technologies. All of that is accurate. We simply do not have anything else that can replace these exceedingly crucial minerals. And according to Google AI, rare earth minerals are particularly important in the production of smartphones and computers. Rare earth elements are used in various components of modern technology, including screens for smartphones and computers, motors for computer drives, and batteries for hybrid and electric cars. The Chinese government thinks that it's lowering the boom on us by banning the export of seven heavy rare earth minerals that are processed exclusively in the Asian power. China has stopped shipping some heavy rare earth metals and magnets critical to U.S. production of everything from cell phones to fighter jets, as Beijing's trade war with Washington simmers, leaving American industry in a bind. Effective April 3, China is no longer exporting seven heavy rare earth metals processed exclusively in the Asian power, as well as heavy rare earth magnets, of which about 90% of the world's supply are also synthesized on Beijing's territory. The good news is that the export of all 17 rare earth minerals is not banned. It's just seven heavy rare earth minerals that have been restricted, and China has a virtual monopoly on supplying all seven of them. The supply and demand curves for all 17 of the rare earths are not equal. China's new trade restrictions focus on seven of them: samarium, gadolinium, terbium, dysprosium, lutetium, scandium, and yttrium. These are mostly heavy rare earth elements, HREEs, which means they are useful in high temperature magnets, the type of magnet used extensively in electric vehicles, EV motors, wind turbines, and military electronic systems. China has virtually monopoly on supplying all seven of them. For the moment, most manufacturers still have existing inventories of rare earth minerals that they can use, but it's just a matter of time before those existing inventories start running out. An official that worked in President Trump's first administration is warning that we could be facing a lot of economic pain. The export halt applies to all countries, but access to elements like dysprosium and yttrium is critical to U.S. industry, especially in the tech, electric vehicle, aircraft, and defense sectors, according to Drew Horn, who served as a top U.S. official on strategic minerals and energy supply chain developments in President Trump's first administration. Rare earths are in everything, he told the Post on Monday, signaling out the EVs and autospace and everything from cell phones, defense key components, and space travel. China, Horn added, has essentially created an all-powerful monopoly with them. Needless to say, we should be processing rare earth minerals here in the United States, A plan to do that was finally developed in 2024, but we are being told that new processing facilities will not be online until 2027 at the earliest. DoD devised a plan in 2024 for building a domestic mine-to-magnet supply chain for rare earths and has committed nearly $500 million in funding to that project, but it will not be online until 2027 at the earliest. In order to avoid a nightmare scenario, we need the trade war with China to end. Unfortunately, that's not likely to happen anytime soon. Neither side intends to back down, and a top Chinese official has publicly stated that China should let those peasants in the United States, quote unquote, wail in front of 5,000 years of Chinese civilization, end quote. Beijing has fired an extraordinary new broadside at America amid growing trade war anger, with a senior Chinese official declaring, quote, let those peasants in the United States wail in front of 5,000 years of Chinese civilization, end quote. Xia Baolong, a top Chinese official who oversees Hong Kong affairs, branded the U.S. tariffs as extremely shameless and warned that bullying has never worked on Chinese people in a televised speech today. The extremely aggressive comments that Chinese officials have been making lately are very unusual. Normally, the Chinese are much more diplomatic. In another move, China has also decided to no longer buy any jets from Boeing. China has ordered its airlines not to take further deliveries of Boeing jets in response to the U.S. decision to impose 145% tariffs on Chinese goods, Bloomberg News reported on Tuesday, April 15, citing people familiar with that matter. Shares of Boeing, which considers China one of the biggest growth markets and where rival Airbus holds a dominant position, were down 0.5% in midday trading. Over the next few years, Chinese airlines were supposed to take delivery of dozens of new Boeing jets. China's top three airlines, Air China, China Eastern Airlines, and China Southern Airlines, had planned to take delivery of 45, 53, and 81 Boeing planes, respectively, between 2025 and 2027. This is not going to have too much of an impact on Boeing, but it just shows that the Chinese are starting to dig in for the long haul. My concern is that this trade war could eventually become a shooting war. We know that both sides have already been conducting cyber attacks on one another. In fact, the Chinese are now publicly accusing the NSA of conducting cyber attacks inside China just 2 months ago. China accused the United States National Security Agency, NSA, on Tuesday of launching advanced cyber attacks during the Asian Winter Games in February, targeting essential industries. Police in the northeastern city of Harbin said 3 alleged NSA agents to a wanted list, and also accused the University of California and Virginia Tech of being involved in the attacks after carrying out investigations, according to a report by state news agency Xinhua on Tuesday. The NSA agents were identified by Xinhua as Catherine A. Wilson, Robert J. Snelling, and Stephen W. Johnson. The 3 were also found to have repeatedly carried out cyber attacks on China's critical information infrastructure and participated in the cyber attacks on Huawei and other enterprises. Of course, the Chinese have been conducting cyber attacks against U.S. targets over and over again. I want to be very clear about something. A cyber attack is an act of war. So the fact that both sides are already conducting cyber attacks should deeply concern all of us. Hopefully cooler heads will prevail, because if we stay on the path that we are currently on, this story is not going to end well. And this is by Michael Snyder on the Economic Collapse blog. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. About the author, Michael Snyder's new book, a blockbuster entitled Why, is available in paperback and for Kindle on Amazon. He also has written 8 other books available on Amazon, including Chaos, End Times, 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of Future America, The Beginning of the End, Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of Michael's books, you help to support the work he's doing. You can also get his articles by email as soon as he publishes them by subscribing to his Substack newsletter. Michael has published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the most important news, and he always freely and happily allows others to publish those articles on their own websites. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, we strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.